citizens wanted me to vote. After I voted, I also got people calling asking what in the heck I was thinking, why. So I found out that the people that had the phone committee going were not the only citizens that are concerned about this project. There's people that are passionate about what these people are trying to do. The proposal and the presentation that we saw at the last council meeting showed beautiful homes. I did my due diligence. I had a long conversation with this developer after that meeting. I went and toured 2 of the homes that this guy has already built. And I'm here to tell you that the quality of those build homes and the houses that they have promised to put in and that we can put in writing to protect us is they will be the nicest homes on Black Oak. I'm sorry, I'm kind of saying that wrong. They are going to be some of the nicest homes, if not the nicest homes on Black Oak. I've been through it. It's very impressive what they're building. I think they're going to be $500,000 homes. We need to look at the fact that if you put in 10 $500,000 homes, you're talking about $10 million worth of ad valorem tax that will come in, not $10 million worth of value that will bring in ad valorem tax each and every year from now on, and that will only go up in value. There's no reason to think that the prices of those will go down. So even after the meeting, I talked to several people that still had the information incorrect, telling me that it was going to be like Eastgate. It's nothing like Eastgate. It's beautiful homes that have rock and brick all the way around, all 4 sides. All of the concerns were addressed. People had concerns about, the big concerns were about parking. They widened the size of the street. They have off-street parking for easily 4 cars. They presented 6. There's some, debate about that, so I'll give them 4 off-street. It's a cul-de-sac, so if you think it's too crowded, there's no reason to turn down the street unless you're going to the house, unless you're living there and have decided to purchase there or going to visit there. So if it was a through street like the one I live on, I get how we shouldn't make the same mistakes we've made in the past about having 1-car driveways with narrow streets. I also would kind of like to know where everybody was when they decided to do the house across the street from my house, where we divided a lot in half. I wasn't excited about that, but the city needs development, so I supported it. We have people that were very verbal, former mayor, about the houses that were built across the street from my office. I didn't see anybody here going against that. In fact, we had people that were very much for that. These houses are much nicer. They're more than double the price of what those houses were.
I want to crack something real quick. I was very supportive of what Don has built.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Oh, okay, it sounded like you said I was.
I'm saying you were very supportive of it, and I don't understand why you're not supportive of something twice the value.
I didn't say I wasn't. What I'm saying, it needs to go back because they've changed the plan. The people around there haven't seen it. What's the difference of a few weeks, let them resubmit it and go back through proper channels?
Well, the biggest difference is the fact that these people have already jumped through hoops trying to deal with this city, and we're just making it.
A lot of people jump through hoops and they change their mind, change their plan. That shouldn't change the rules.
Well, we're not changing the rules. We have attorneys here that made that clear. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here discussing this right now. And if other people on the council want to take it back to P&Z, that is up for discussion as well.
Well, it's not right that group came before planning and zoning with one proposal, and then it was denied, then came before you last week with another proposal. Because that drawing up there, that looks just like Eastgate.
Let me ask you a
question. I'm sorry, Darren, that looks just like Eastgate right up there.
But that's not what it is.
Exactly, but that's what they presented to the people.
Okay, wait a minute. So, there would be nothing wrong with them turning it down and this council voting for it without going back to P&Z. Nobody complains about that, regardless of whether it was the same presentation or not. That's an acceptable rule, to have P&Z make a suggestion, but council deny that suggestion. It happens all the time. I don't know that I agree with it either, but we kind of picking and choosing what we accept.
Well, we told them that night to build less houses and
And they came back and did
and
exactly,
charge more money for them.
they came back and did
And
exactly that.
they came back to you last week and y'all voted on it. But that wasn't what they presented to planning and zoning the first time. They should go back to planning and zoning and present their new proposal to them, and then see what happens, and then let it come to council.
And then we'd be back in the same place.
Maybe not, you don't know.
Council, even if they turn it down, it still comes back to council. And we've
You don't know
already
what's
seen the
gonna happen,
president.
But
We've already seen the
So
president.
if you're gonna override planning and zoning and overall report, why do you have a board?
Why
Why don't you
That's what I'm asking to
why don't
start
you
with.
just control everything?
That is a normal procedure, correct?
It's state law.
Yeah, it's a normal procedure, but this isn't normal here to come back and just reconsider, change our mind on the vote. If that's the case, all of us in here that former elected officials, we'd go back and change our vote. I wouldn't, but some people might.
Charles, did you have, sorry, Charles, did you have something?
If I do, with your permission, I'm gonna remain seated. I've got, nothing communicable. I've got what I call summer codes, from heat, air conditioning. My name is Charles Richardson. I live down the street from Royce. I made the motion to deny on the P&Z. I thought it had good and legitimate reasons. I'm not concerned about the kind of houses being built, frankly. I'm concerned about the process. The week between the P&Z meeting and the council meeting, which was 8 days later, was rather magical. How was it magical? So we were told at the P&Z, 24 lots, 24 houses were required for them to make a profit. So that look, in 1 week, magic happened. Now only 20 houses do that. So unless, I don't know if that's developer speak or the truly disingenuous. I am concerned that I don't believe the process was honored. It wasn't for lack of a medium out vote, it wasn't a 3-2. It was unanimous. And we listened to people too. We had a lot of, everyone in this group that wanted to speak, we had a lot of input. We listened to the developers. I would have thought that they would have heard us and come back to the P&Z when they could. I think the process should be honored. Because if you continue to do this, there's really no reason to have a P&Z other than a legal slide to get to where you are. And what happens is developers will recognize that and slide right through us. They don't have to do anything. Whatever the vote is, they slide right through the council. This is a precious commodity, I think, for this community because it's one of the last big places for development. I wish they had talked to some of the neighbors before. I sat in this very council room a few years ago when we talked about the ballparks. Mr. Earwood remembers those ones. And I heard one of the neighbors talk about that he said, I just do not want to hear a high school band play every time there's a baseball game. Not Mr. Earwood, but one of his neighbors. None of y'all heard about high school band play baseball. So that's what happens at these meetings. We all say things like, what?
That was Bill Anderson, right?
I didn't say who it was. I'm not naming names. I didn't name a name, Council.
I was close to him, so he'd get a kick out of it.
So after that meeting, I thought to myself, and I will be quiet today.
I was about to have the police chief pull you out of here.
Sir?
I was about to have the police chief take you out of here.
Thought to myself, what could we have done better? And the answer is that they could have met with the neighbors. We go up and knock on the door. Hi, I'm the guy down the street. I want to develop this. Can we have a cup of coffee? I imagine the city manager would allow them to have a meeting at as my wife calls it, the convention center. So that you can do that. If you notice in Fort Worth, they literally force developers to do that. One of the big changes. And a lot of times developers come out a lot happier than they thought. They thought it was going to be a fist fight. It ends up coming out like neither side of it was a bunch of devils. So I thought